All right, all right. Let's roll this thing on out. Let's roll it on out. Fix my little setup real quick. Then we can get right into it. Find my chat box. Where's my chat box? Where's my chat box? There it is. Push the phones up. Push the phones up. Let's get right into it. Let's get right into it. Get right into it. One more thing let me do before we jump this off. One more thing. Restore. Move this on over. Boom, boom, boom. Now we can go. We can go. We can go. We can go. Good evening, good people. It's Super Bowl Eve, and a lot of nervous energy floating around the atmosphere. Games tomorrow. The Patriots. The Rams. One team started off super hot. Other team not so much. Everybody was doubting New England, and Tom Brady, he pulled off some magic and got back into it. The Rams started off extremely hot, kind of cooled off toward the middle of the year, and they found a way to right there. Both of them found a way to right their ship and ended up in the Super Bowl. But I want to thank all you guys for tuning in. This is one of my first live stream solo. Coach Evans with a Sip to Tally. All my social media stuff is down below. You can follow me on Twitter, Instagram. I also have a Patreon. People was asking how can they support. You can support at patreon.com/Sip to Tally. But let's get into the agenda for tonight. I also got the phone lines open. Phone line is number 605-472-5400. Access code 918-914. If you want to call and chat and get in on the show, feel free to do so. That's what I'm here for. I'm here to talk ball. We can talk about the Super Bowl. We can talk about the draft. We definitely can talk about Ed Reed getting into the Hall of Fame. I want to start off with the Super Bowl contestants. The Patriots, they started off extremely slow. People was doubting Brady, saying he was too old. I remember Max Kellerman saying that he would fall off a cliff. At some point in time, Brady's 41, soon to be 42, if I'm not mistaken, or maybe soon to be 41. But he says he's gonna play another 3 to 5 years. I don't see it. I don't see it happening at all. But he wrote the ship, and it's hard to bet against Brady. Brady finds a way to get it done with average to mediocre receivers, other than Gronk. Weddle was not Weddle. What's the list? Wes Welker was one of his better receivers. The year he had Randy Moss, he put up all kind of numbers, and Randy Moss set records. Randy Moss had his best year with Tom Brady. But other than those two guys, his probably best receiver was, Josh Gordon. I mean, he had guys that produced, but he never had real talent other than Randy Moss, and, Welker did his thing. Now Edelman's kind of in that role. But Brady is, 9 Super Bowls? And I was talking to a kid the other day and told him, if you're a 21-year-old in Boston, you've had a great sports career with the Red Sox, I think the Red Wings, maybe, whatever the Boston, the Boston Bruins, that's what it is. Their championships, and the Patriots. You didn't have anything with the Celtics, but still. Hey, Ms. April, how you doing? I appreciate you joining in. Joseph, I see you. I think Brady and Gronk. Hey, if they win, they might ride off into sunset and pull a Ray Lewis. I don't see. I can't see that happening. Because I would want to go out on top. That's me personally. And what better way to do than win your Super Bowl and ride out? And I think if they win, the rest of the NFL will be happy, because now the rest of us have a chance to win some games. But it is what it is. Now let's talk about these Rams for a second. Todd Gurley, I'm going to go ahead and put this out there. Gurley's my favorite player. Even though I'm a Ravens fan, I've been a Gurley fan since freshman or sophomore year at UGA. The guy he's a complete back. He can do it all. He can, he can catch the ball in the backfield. He can run over you. He can run past you. I'm a Gurley fan, big time. And to see the success they've had, and this was his third year, maybe third or fourth year, I'm ecstatic about it. I wish he would be playing the Ravens, but he's not. And I'm kind of curious as to what kind of injury he has. For a guy of that stature to only get 5 carries in that championship game, that kind of you know, threw me for a loop. And I want to pick him to win MVP tomorrow, but I don't know. You know, when there's money involved, it is what it is. But I am going to pick the Rams to win the Super Bowl simply because everybody's betting on the Patriots. The money's going toward the Patriots. I'm going to take a little change and put it on the other side. And hopefully that translates into a victory for me and my pockets and things like that. But for the game itself, it seems like everybody's in Atlanta having a great time. Hadn't heard anything bad about what's going on in the ATL. So that's a good thing. And I'm pretty sure you got some good hosts going on and whatnot. Girl is from your hometown. Yeah. Miss April, I can't tell you how much I like Gurley. My wife has a word that she calls him, and I'm not gonna share that with y'all, but she really cracks me up and does that about Gurley. Gurley's had knee injuries since college. He did get hurt. He missed about 4 games right there at the end of his junior year, I think. And so you know, maybe that's what that's coming from. But to say he's not injured and for him to still be on the bike, you know, during the game, that's kind of a oxymoron, so to speak. But you know, it is what it is. And yeah, your boy IDK, I don't know. I got a mad respect for the Patriots too. It's kind of like I used to had the same kind of respect for the Celtics. I never really liked Larry Bird, but I had to respect him because, you know, he could play. He was a champion. He could do things to get his team better and make his team better. And he was a pretty cocky dude. And I like cocky dudes. You know, that's why I'm a Dion fan also. But yeah, I got that respect for the Pats also. But back to the Rams. Jeff Goff. I know everybody watched the not Hard Knocks, but the other thing on Amazon TV that when Jeff Fisher was there last year and how bad and how terrible they was. What does it say for Sean McVay to come in year 2 and have Jared Goff doing the things he's doing? That's absolutely amazing, and that's why all these people that are friends with McVay are getting jobs, like Cliff Kingsbury. And if I'm not mistaken, McVay's OC has a job waiting on him, or took a job or something like that. I could be wrong on that. You know, correct me down in the chat box later on, or in the chat box right now. But I'm rooting for the Rams. I hope they pull it out. It's big time money toward the Patriots because, you know, Brady wins. Brady wins. Brady been a system QB. I don't know if Brady's a system QB because Brady is the system. How about that? Brady is the system. Brady's the guy. He makes everybody on his team better. Just think about that. This will be his 9th Super Bowl. 9. Been in 9 Super Bowls. What other quarterback has been in that many Super Bowls? It's crazy that Tom Kraft, I think that's his name, Tom Kraft, has got lucky with Tom Brady, especially being that late of a pick. Let's see what Miss April's talking about. Now that gambling is permitted in sports games, what do you think will affect the outcome? Man, what scares me is putting an NFL team in Vegas. That's what scares me as much and how big gambling has gotten in the United States. It scares me putting a team in Vegas. Ooh, man, I hope nothing comes of it, but that's just a scary feeling when people lose that type of money and they, you know, the world we live in right now. It scares me to put a team in Vegas, but it's coming and they're halfway through the stadium. I think another year or two, it's gonna be there. Matt Castle, I think that's what you mean. Matt Castle was amazing. Jimmy G was good. I'm just saying. Tom Brady, yeah. Jimmy G had that one good year when Tom got hurt, and so did Matt Castle. They pretty much got paid off Tom Brady injuries, so to speak, because both of the times they got to play, Tom Brady got hurt, and they had, you know what? Now that you say that, it might be that, because those guys had amazing years when Brady was hurt. So you may have a point there with that with Brady being a system QB. The thing is though, he gets the ball out fast. The Aaron Donald and Sue, they the ones got to put pressure on him because the defensive ends won't get to Tom Brady. The pressure gonna have to come up the middle, which I think it will, because Sue kind of rested all year, so to speak. Sue's best game was against the Saints, and the week before that. And you know, Aaron Donald with being the MVP that he should be, is they gonna get that pressure up the middle, and hopefully they can have one linebacker to play good, just one, because the rest their linebackers are not very good. But going back, what did it say? Jeff Fisher having a rookie on the Vegas team is going to be a big test on and off the field. Yes, Joseph. Yes, it's the on the field and off the field. The Vegas nightlife, and not necessarily the nightlife. The just having bookies and big time gamblers and all that stuff is going to test the youngster out there. And Sony Michel gonna get locked up. I hope so. But how amazing is it? You got two Georgia running backs starting in the Super Bowl, and both of them played together at Georgia. That says a lot for, so to speak, Mark Richt and what he did in recruiting running backs at Georgia. Just couldn't win a big one. And you notice the sarcasm in my voice because I like Miami, and Mark Richt we don't even know what he did with Miami. Stand with the NFL though. All right. Let's move over a little bit to the draft situation. All right, we have the 22nd pick, the 85th pick, the 117th pick, 149th pick, 178. 178 and 181. So we have a first, no second. Have a fourth, a fifth, and 2 6. All right, what do you guys think we should go from there? And I have a personal preference. I thought there first. I think in the first round at 22, we should get an O lineman or wide receiver. Now, I put out some videos about different O linemen, about different wide receivers. I think the best receiver I've put out there so far is Hollywood Brown, but I don't think he fits what we need to do. So I think the best fit at receiver for us of the videos that I've put out so far is AJ Brown. He's not a burner. He has solid hands. He's strong. He has a great catch radius for a guy that is 6'1", 6'2", heck of an athlete. One of the few kids that was in the Under Armour football game and baseball game, like Kyler Murray was also. But if we don't go receiver, I think we should look at the center from Alabama, because I really would like Cody Ford and move him to guard, but Cody Ford's not going to be there at 22. So my wishes are what they are, wishes. But we need a guard center combo type person, and I think we should take either the best receiver there or the best O lineman there. But don't take a secondary guy just to fill that void. If the receiver we want is not there, take the O lineman we want. Or if we want to go O line first, if the O lineman we want is not there, take the receiver we want. Get what we want out of 22, whether it be O line or receiver. Then you can work your way to and if say we got an O lineman first round, we definitely need a receiver or a safety in the third round. Definitely. I like Nasir Adderley. I don't think he's going to be there, but I do like him. My friend Vach did a video on Nasir Adderley, and I love it when he had a kickoff return and he ran over a guy, stopped, looked at him, then kept running for a touchdown. That was amazing. But definitely, I think then if we don't get, say we get a receiver first round, we get an O lineman or a safety second round, we need to go running back. Now, I don't know if Jacobs will be there. I don't think Jacobs will be there that late. Jacobs probably going to be the first or second running back off the board, but I love what he do. And, I wouldn't put it past us to pick up Jacobs in the first round. I wouldn't like it personally, but I wouldn't put it past us because I think Jacobs is the best running back out there. Let me get in this chat box and see what it says. Josh Jacobs, in my opinion, coach. Yeah, just talked about Josh. Trade back into the second and get a physical receiver. So, Clock, are you saying trade back and get 2 picks in the second round? Is that what you're saying? Trade that first pick and try to get 2 picks in the second round and get a physical receiver like N'Keal Harry or now I haven't looked at Harmon yet. People was talking to me about Harmon. I haven't looked at him yet to see, how good is he, what are his traits and whatnot. But I'll definitely be getting to Harmon. The best safety I've seen out there so far is I think the kid from Alabama. I think he's number 13. Maybe I'm not exactly sure of his number. And okay, I see it. And the kid Nasir Adderley is pretty good. Nasir plays free safety like a center fielder. I saw a video the other day where he's in the middle of the field. He turned and run like Griffey. You know, and if you know anything about baseball, you know how Griffey could go get him. And he played in the box too. He's a box guy, so you know he could come in and do some of those same things that that Weddle do. You know, so you know Nasir Adderley may be a first round pick for us. We just don't really know. We don't have an idea of how DeCosta's gonna work without Ozzie. Even though I know Ozzie's gonna be there, but just going from DeCosta's press conference the other day, from watching it and reading the transcripts, he's gonna value Ozzie's opinion, but he wants to set his own identity on the team. He wants to be his own man. And I do appreciate what DeCosta did. He worked his way up. He started off he was an intern. And, you know, Ozzie brought him in, and he's been with Ozzie, I think he said 20 plus years. So, you know, I can appreciate that for DeCosta, a guy that has done pretty much every job in the building, not playing the game. I can appreciate that, and he looks like he's ready to work and get it done. But he's going to want to put his own spin on these things. So let me get back in this chat box. What if Baltimore snagged Michael for our 21st pick last year with Lamar? Is that Michelle? Woo! I think he mean Michelle. Sony Michelle. That'd have been a tough combination. You get a safety depending on weather situation. That's big. This free agency thing that we got, I think they're gonna start taking place March 1st. But it's really throwing a cloud on everything. So we want, you know, all this draft stuff, all these mock drafts can change once free agency start. And so, you know, I want to say we're wasting our time, but we're not, because it's football. We love it. I love the content. You love the content. So, you know, once free agency start, all this stuff may change. We could get a 4th round safety and let him learn on the Weddle. That's true also. Maybe get Weddle on a one more year deal, and hopefully he won't command a bunch of money. Get you a safety in there and learn from him and go from there. All right. And lastly, in this stream, you're not going to be here too long. I just wanted to get it out there and see how it is. Do you think the Ravens should sign Deshaun Jackson if Tampa Bay cut him? No. I do not want Deshaun Jackson. That's just like taking these other receivers we've done in the past. We've taken older guys, and they've been on the decline in their career. And I don't want any more older guys there. And Deshaun's fast. But he's always hurt. I think the best, I don't know if it's a project, but the best reclamation project we've had was Anquan Bolden. Anquan came in for us and balled out. You know, he was on the latter stages of his career, and that guy played awesome. He spurred us on to the Super Bowl, because there's some throws in that Super Bowl that Joe made that shouldn't have been made, and Anquan went and got him. Do you think the Ravens should sign Jackson again? With the 1st round, they should get an offensive lineman or wide receiver. So I think he should trade Jimmy Smith and get a 2nd round. Okay. I like that. Because we're loaded at corner. And, you know, the younger, less expensive guys that we're going to keep. So I can see us trading Jimmy, or trading Joe and getting a 2nd. What about trading Joe and getting a 2nd round pick? What you think about that? Because Joe is, you know, obviously he's not going to be in, you know, Baltimore anymore, and no sense of just letting him go for nothing. You know, get him somewhere. Carr's 33, okay, yeah. Carr, but the thing about Carr is, even though Carr's 33, Carr don't miss games. If you can go back and look up how much he's been on the injury report, Carr don't miss games. And I didn't like it when we got him from the Cowboys, because I got a bunch of friends in my group chat that are Cowboys fans, and they always talk about how awful Carr was. But Carr don't miss games. Go back and look at his stats. He's there. His best asset is being available. And you know, you can't play with people hurt. You can't make the team. You can't make the club in the tube. That's what it is. You can't make the club in the tube. We need youth at receiver. We do. We need youth, and we need a coach that can develop that youth. That's what we need. Because I still want to see what Jaleel Scott and I forget the other guy's name, the other receiver we got. I still want to see what they can do. Lashley, that's who it is. I still want to see what Scott and Lashley can do, because they didn't get any spin outside of the preseason. And, you know, but I want to see what, and definitely being 6'6", that could be a red zone guy for us. I never said Carr was great. I said Carr was available. Never said he was great. Said Carr was available. And, you know, being available is big, because Jim is not always available. Make sense? All right. I wouldn't mind seeing N'Keal Harry in the purple and black next season. I can deal with that. I can deal with N'Keal Harry. You know, good kid, big kid. Play for Herm Edwards. You play for Herm Edwards, you're a pretty solid kid. Because Herm went in there cleaning shop. So, you know, play for Herm Edwards. You get through Herm Edwards. You got to be a fairly decent character kid, and he's big enough. He's about what 6'3", 6'4". I can't remember from a video, but and he got speed and he can run routes okay. But yak was a big thing for him. Yak and his catch radius. Arms are like eagle's wings. So that, you know, having N'Keal Harry on the team I wouldn't be mad at that. Wouldn't be mad at that at all. But let's see what's next. I agree, but DeCosta, do you think he's going to be physical in the draft and try to trade for a first-round pick at offensive lineman or trade and get Jimmy Smith? I don't think any of the guys that we have that are trade bait would be good enough to get a first-round pick for. I don't think anybody in the NFL would give us a first for Jimmy Smith or a first for Joe Flacco. So, you know, I don't think we have enough trade bait to get higher in the first round. I think 22 is about as high as we're going to get without losing a bunch in this draft. We already don't have, but let's see how many picks. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 picks that I see so far. So, you know, I don't think we're going to get. I think 22 is our best bet to get our first rounder. And maybe he can make some magic and get us a second rounder. Maybe he can get trade the one of those 6 and then like Carr or Flacco or something like that and go from there. It's going to be interesting to see. Who would you want to see in the Ravens this year, Bell or Earl Thomas? I would love to see Le'Veon Bell, but we're not going to pay the type of money that Le'Veon Bell commands. Le'Veon Bell is before he set out this year, I think he was the best running back in the league. And man, I would love to see him in the purple and black, but the type of money that guy's gonna command, we just don't pay that for players. You know, Joe got money, deservedly so after the Super Bowl, but he did nothing after that. Somebody just put up Antonio Brown. I don't like Antonio Brown. I mean, I like him as a receiver. I like him on my fantasy team, but on my NFL team, no, because all that extra stuff he does that's not what we want in our locker room, because it divides the locker room, which I think it divided the Steelers locker room this year. They had too much talent to be as what they had a 6-game losing streak. That's unheard of. And whoever their receiver coach is, that's who I want. I want that guy. But back to the chat box. Plus a 3rd-round comp pick for Ryan Jensen. Maybe. Antonio Brown and Bell are counsel to an organization. I agree with that. Hakeem Butler, wide receiver from Iowa State, is a freak of nature, coach. Okay, that's a name that's been floating around with me also. I got to get on Hakeem Butler from Iowa State and check him out and see what he is, see what he does and whatnot. I've heard different people say they like to have Hakeem Butler, and maybe that's one of the guys we can get, you know, in the 3rd. Depending on his talent. I don't know what his talent is, so I don't want to judge so far. Do you think Bell lost money for this year, for sitting out the year? Like 14, 15 million? Yeah, he lost money. Can he? The only way he can get that back is if he get a monster deal. Now, what he did gain was health. Didn't play a whole year off for resting. Whenever he comes back, he should be completely 135% healthy. And the only injury I would be worried about for Le'Veon coming back is ACL. Not ACL, I'm sorry. Achilles. Because sitting out that long, I don't know how his training regimen was, but not playing football and then you finna jump up and start doing those cuts again. And you know he's one of the best cutters in the league. I'd be scared for his Achilles and hope. I don't wish him to be hurt, but that's the only injury I'd be scared of for him on that. Conditioning, he can get that back. I know his vision probably hasn't gone anywhere because he was at the top of his game while doing that. But yeah, Bell lost money, $14 million a year. You see how many free agent Eagles are gonna have. The Eagles are gonna have next year. Well, I'm gonna throw you some of the Eagles. What they have going this year with all those guys leaving is what the Rams are going to have in another year or two. Because the Rams went for it this year, like the Eagles went for it last year. So the Rams are going to be. The Rams are going to be similar to the Eagles, if not the end of this year, next year, because they won't be able to pay all those kids. They paid Aaron Donald, I think, and they paid Gurley. Jeff Goff rookie deal should be ending soon. They got to pay him. They paid Brandon Cooks. So, you know, that's going to be the Rams are going to be the Eagles the next couple of years, so the Rams better win it like the Eagles did. See what's next. Do you think the Ravens should draft AB cousin Holiday Brown? I talked about that earlier. I think Hollywood is the best receiver in the draft right now, but he doesn't fit what we do. Lamar needs a guy with catch radius, because his balls won't necessarily be pinpoint. So he needs a guy that can catch the ball with a defender on him and can get some yak. He needs a guy that got strong hands and can run great routes, precise routes, be there when he's supposed to be there, get a little separation. Because he's not going to be that pinpoint accurate guy, not 1 year. Now, I hope he improves, way better than he did last year. And I think a lot of his ineptitude playing or throwing the ball was for opportunities. Because, you warm up for the game, you're throwing the ball deep, you're doing your pat and goes. Then you get in the game and you hand it off in the first quarter, 15, 16 times, especially if it's working. Now you got to come back and throw. Your arm, hand the ball off and throwing is two different things. You got to keep that arm loose. And I don't know what they do on the sideline. I wasn't able to make it to a game, but, I think a lot of it was opportunity. I think our best play with Lamar would have been just calling pass plays and letting him do his thing. But, if you don't call those plays, it's not happening. Because a couple times against, later on the year, we were in third and long situations or second and long situations. They called maybe 4 verts or something like that. And then not be open, and Lamar get out there and get you 15, 20 yards. And that way you keep him healthy because you ain't having design runs. 2, he's running in wide open space so he can make guys miss. He can slide or he can get out of bounds. That's keeping him healthy. But we just didn't call enough pass plays to give him opportunity to either throw the ball or run it. Because I don't think he would have threw a bunch of interceptions. But that would have gave him a better chance of us moving the ball and not just running. Even though I enjoyed the running, especially when we were ahead. But back to the chat box. Is A.J. Brown a first or second round guy for the Ravens? We don't have a second again yet. I think he could be a first round guy. I'm partly biased to A.J. Brown because I coached against him in high school when he was in high school. So I've seen what he can do on the high school level, college, and not yet pros. Nobody's seen the pros. But in the high school level, it's rare that a receiver can change the game the way he does. You play off of him, he could take a now screen or a jailbreak screen and go to the house. You play up on him. Obviously, he can go over top and beat you, either moss you or run by you or route you. Then you send him in motion on jet sweeps. If you try to double him and bracket him and stuff like that, they put him in motion jet sweeps. Hard to tackle once he get the ball. So I've never seen a receiver at the high school level that can change the game the way he did. Now, other than I think Hazelwood this year, that's coming out of some high school in Georgia. Wide receiver does not impress me compared to last year. That's true. They're not as a whole not as good as last year. So I agree with you on that. But there are a few gems out there that can get the job done. We should get Lamar's teammate Jalen Smith. I knew somebody was gonna say that. Jalen hadn't done anything since Lamar left. So I don't know if it was the quarterback situation or them just not being a good team. Jalen, his film from last year didn't impress me. He only had like 600 yards, maybe if that. Had about 10 or 11 touchdowns and didn't have like 40 catches, somewhere up in there. I could be wrong on the stats, but I know I did look him up because I was starting to do a film on him. And when I looked at his stats and when I watched the game before I started recording, I wasn't impressed. So I just didn't do that. I kind of felt the same way about Isabella also too, but I'll talk about Isabella later. We should do what they did with Russell Wilson in Seattle. He didn't do design runs. They forced him to throw, and we need right. Russ, the only design run Russ did for a while was zone read. He keep it from time to time on zone read, but Russ had a bull in the backfield, kind of similar to what we had. Russ had beast mode, and he also had a great defense. So we should follow that Seattle blueprint and ride it to the Super Bowl next year. Great defense, run Gus Edwards. Run, Dixon. Dixon impressed me when he came back. Let's see who else we had. We had DeLance Turner. He was an undrafted free agent that had got a little time before he got hurt. So we got stable of backs, and hopefully we can get that done. But who is my top 5 wide receivers in the NFL right now? Hold that thought, young TJ. Hold that thought. I'm gonna come back to it. All right. This year I like the slot wide receivers, and there are plenty of them. Yeah, AJ can play the slot. Isabella can play the slot. Hollywood can play the slot. Who else we got out there? You know what? I honestly like Hunter Renfrow. I don't know how many people out there agree with me. I know Vach don't agree with me. Vach thinks Hunter's going to go undrafted. And, you know, ain't nothing wrong with going undrafted. There are a lot of guys that go undrafted and have success. But I think Hunter's going to be a good NFL player, drafted or not. I don't think he would fit us because we don't have that pinpoint accuracy, get rid of the ball quick guy. But I think Hunter's going to be a good NFL pro. If he could, like, play with Brady, play with A-Rod, play with what's the Atlanta quarterback? Matty Ice. Who else that gets the ball out like that? That's all I can think of right now that just, you know, pretty much can get the ball out and still be effective. But if you get a guy like that, Hunter Renfrow could be pretty good. So before I move on, I'm going to answer this question. What was it? Top five wide receivers in the NFL right now. 1, DeAndre Hopkins. No catches all year long. I mean, no drops, I'm sorry, all year long. So he's my 1. Julio. No, not Julio. Odell Beckham is 2. Odell Beckham 2. Julio 3. I'm missing somebody. I don't want to miss out. So DeAndre, Odell, Julio, AB when he's not acting the way he acts. That's 4. Whew. And I know it's a lot of receivers out there. I don't want to stick somebody up there that's not deserved to be in my top 5. I'll give you 4. I'll stick with 4 right now because I need to think about that for a minute. All right, that's my top 4. So 1 would be DeAndre Hopkins. 2 would be Julio. 2 would be Odell Beckham. 3 Julio. 4 AB. I give you those 4 right now. Yeah, I like Michael Thomas. I need to think about that 5th one though. That 5th slot is always a tough one. Like anytime somebody asks you to do your top 5 rappers, you can spit out 3 or 4, but you have to think on that 5th one. But let's get back to the football. No cut running back, Mark Ingram. You think the Ravens should go after him? No. Gus Edwards can give us what Mark Ingram gives us. So there's no need of spending that money. Gus Edwards can do what Mark Ingram does just as good. I dare to say better. Because Gus is only 22, 23. Mark Ingram's pushing 30, I think. AJ Green, there it is. Thank you, depressed Ravens fan. AJ Green, when healthy. That's my 5. That's my 5th one. Appreciate it. But Gus Edwards can do the same thing. Who's the guy for the Steelers? Mark Ingram does. Now, what I think we need is a guy that can give us what Kamara gives us, or Kamara, however you pronounce it. That's what I think we need, that kind of back. And I don't think we have a back that's powerful yet speedy enough to do that. A back that kind of looks like Jacobs, the kid I did today, that type of back. But we don't have to draft a back this year. There's a back coming out of Mississippi State next year that I would love to see with the Ravens, that I actually coached in high school. Check him out. His high school tape is at the bottom of my YouTube page somewhere. But it's a guy by the name of Kylan Hill. Remember that name. I think he's going to be one of the better running backs coming out of the draft next year. But I don't want to get too far ahead of myself. I just root for him to make it big time, and definitely with the Ravens because he played for me. My problem is he has no vision. Who? Gus? For what we're doing with him, Gus don't need vision. Like if you notice a pattern, if you watched my films from this season, Gus ran the downhill runs. You know, I'm sure other teams picked up on that, so he did a little stretch from time to time to throw people off. But Gus was a downhill guy. You know, the play was like an inside zone / belly type play, but he just hit it downhill, and if the end crashed, Lamar took it. If the end stayed, he handed it off, and we had double teams and got on down the field. Then Kenny Dixon would come in and do some of your counters. Every now and then he'd run that Gus play, just trying to keep guys honest. Then we stick Ty Montgomery in there, and we run like the power read off of like an outside zone type deal. We'd fake to Montgomery, and if the end crashes, give it to Montgomery, let it run outside. If the end chase Montgomery, the Maul will keep it and run the power behind the pulling guard. So Gus doesn't have to have vision to get it done. He fills a role for us, and we go from there. Jonathan Taylor from Wisconsin, don't remind me of that guy. I've seen him 2 straight years in bowl games. I'm a Miami fan. Don't remind me of him. Even though he would be a great back, I got a bias against him for what he did to the Hurricanes for 2 years in a row. But he is a good back. He is a good back. You say like the Chargers game. The Chargers did something real unconventional, and basically we got outcoached in the Chargers game because what they did, it was unconventional. We didn't adjust to it. So yeah, but you can't bank on that because you see what New England did to the Chargers the next week. So yeah, Montgomery though give us what Kamara gives. Montgomery he don't have it like Kamara have it. Montgomery used to be that guy, and I thought he would be that guy coming back from what was that, Green Bay, but he didn't. And also I forget about Buck. Let me leave out Buck. Buck give us some good snaps. Buck's a great special teams player. Buck needs to come see the kids at Lincoln and spend some time with them. If you listen to Buck, make sure you do that. We'll be waiting. But Buck's a good player, and don't discount Buck. I like Buck. Montgomery's contract up? Maybe it could be. I don't know. It could be up. But a lot of time we spend on this. But just one important thing I want to get to. So let's go there. And you guys can answer this in the chat box, and I'll react to this. Ed Reed got into the Hall of Fame today. Our very own Ed Reed. So we got Ray Lewis, we got Ed Reed. First question is, who was a better Raven, Ray Lewis or Ed Reed? Answer that. Who was a better Raven, Ray Lewis or Ed Reed? That's what I'm interested to know from you guys. Myself personally, God, it's hard to say because I'm a Miami fan. I like both of them from college. I like Ray. Ray was our heart and soul, our heartbeat. But Ed was that drive, whatever the heartbeat. He was whatever makes the heartbeat. That was him. And he was so smart. He was so smart. Guys, it's hard to imagine a smarter guy that played with that much passion, that played with that much vigor. Ed Reed was difficult. Reed was your favorite all time. Yeah, I'm gonna go with Ed. I gotta go with Ed. He did get some big interceptions behind. Yeah. So I'm gonna go with Ed also. I'm gonna give you my funnest Ed Reed moment, and it's not even in a Ravens uniform. It was one of those big time Miami teams where they won the national championship, but they were in Boston College on a road game, and I remember sitting in my room watching this game as a teenager. I think not even a teenager, maybe whatever I was at the time, and Boston College was winning. They were winning by 3 points, maybe 4, and they were driving down to get another field goal or take the lead, and that would have put the game out of reach because if Miami was ranked number 1, 2, or 3 at the time, something like that, somehow like that, and so for some reason they throw the ball. And we get a pick, and the guy, like a linebacker or somebody, picks it. But the guy's about to get tackled and falling. Ed comes and takes the ball from his own man, goes all the way for the touchdown the other way. And I remember just running and jumping around the room and screaming, and that guy right there. But what's your fondest Ed Reed moment? Fondest Ed Reed moment. Yeah, Miss April. Ed Reed was the heart and soul of our defense. And yeah, he in the Hall of Fame. We talked about that earlier. That's why we're talking about him tonight. But my fondest Ed Reed moment was that in that Miami uniform. And as far as the Ravens uniform, that 107 and the 106-yard interceptions he had. He he set the record with a 106-yard interception. Then he turns around and breaks his own record with a 107-yard interception. How skillful was Ed Reed with the ball in his hand? And I don't know this for sure, but I'm sure Ed played some offense in high school. I know he did. At Dexter Head High School right outside of New Orleans. I know Ed Reed played some receiver. Ed was brains. Ray was all. That's a great. I like that, Josh. Ed was the brains. Ray was all heart. I like that. I like that. I'm hurt, dog. Joaquin said dominate, and we ain't doing it. That's my speech right there, Greg. You know about it. So Greg know a little bit about that. Not too many safeties in the Hall of Fame. Hey, we got one now. I don't care about the rest of them. You got Ronnie Lott. You got Woodson. You got Ed Reed. And you know what? Something should happen where Sean Taylor should get some kind of recognition. Because if not for his tragic death, Sean Taylor probably would be the best safety to ever live. Probably the best safety to ever live. It's crazy. Hated that happened to him. R.I.P. Sean Taylor. But again, Ed Reed is my favorite Raven. I think he's my best Raven of all time. I also like Dion too. I'm a huge fan of Dion. I love when Dion played for us that year or two. But lastly, before we get out of here, you guys go into the chat box. Give me who you think is going to win tomorrow and a score. I want to see that from you guys. Who you think is going to win tomorrow and a score. I'll go first. I think the Rams are going to win 30-27. 30-27. And most of this score is going to happen in the second half. There's going to be a huge fill-out process. And that second half is I think it's going to pick up. It's going to pick up. Patriots 28-17. Pats 35-28. So that's two. That's two. Two for the Pats. I'm gonna go against you. I'm going Rams. And again, I'm gonna get out of here. We've been on here. How long we been on here? 41 minutes. Got 11 people watching. I appreciate you guys from the bottom of my heart. You guys got me to monetization a lot faster than I expected. I'm at 1,000 some odd followers, 4,000 some odd watch time. From my goal was just to get 200 by the new year, and I'm up to 1,000. I appreciate you guys. I appreciate all the guys that helped me out. I gotta mention them: Ing Raven, Vosh Lombardi, Lieutenant Dan with the unintentional grounding, Joe Nubo, Sonny from SEG Sports. Who else? I hate if I leave somebody out. If I did leave somebody out, charge it to my head, not my heart. Again, I appreciate you guys coming out. Thank you for coming. Make sure you subscribe. And hit the like button. Miss April, I know you one of Voch's moderator, you and Nene. Tell them hit that like. There you go, Joseph, I see you. Hit that like button. Make sure you share. Make sure you follow me on my social medias too. It's scrolling at the bottom. It's Coach Evans 9 on Twitter. And it's Sip the Tally on Instagram. Again, thank you guys for coming out with me. We'll be back next weekend. Make sure you watch out for my draft videos. Salute.